Terry, I would like to hear what your definition of evil is. Is there such a thing as an objective definition, in your opinion?
Just picking up Stephen's point, I think the worst thing that can happen to us is death. In fact, I've actually written a book on death. It's not out yet. I've written a book on most things. You know. I was asking the publishers, I thought I might bring it out posthumously, with a note saying the author rejects the charge that his recent death was a publicity stunt for the promotion of this book. I think death is the worst evil. And also, I disagree slightly with Stephen, I want to keep the definition of evil kind of boringly precise and narrow, which is not fashionable in postmodern terms where everything is open-ended and plural and various and so on. I don't think you get very far if by evil you mean very, very, very bad. Yeah. I think you miss the fact that evil is a very specific form of badness, which is luckily extremely rare, and which is quite different from being wicked for instrumental reasons. As I say, on my theory, Stalin and Mao were extremely wicked. They killed thousands and thousands of people, but they weren't evil in the sense that, I think, for those who remember them here, the Moors murderers were evil. Why?
Sorry,
the Moors murderers were evil. Because the Moors murderers did what they did, you know, killed and dismembered little children, purely for the hell of it, with absolutely no view, no utilitarian or instrumentalist eye to the consequences of it. Now, in that sense, for me, and it may be a bit of a weird and narrow definition, evil has a radical gratuitousness about it. And in that sense, what it resembles most, ironically, is creation. Because the doctrine of creation, theologically, has nothing to do with how the world got started. It's not some kind of pseudo-science. As that man, whose name I can never remember, but whose wife used to act in Doctor Who, thinks. Dawkins, yeah, sorry, yeah. Sorry. Only thing I know about Richard, whatever his name is that he's heard about this, by the way, he's heard me saying this, is that his wife used to act in Doctor Who. He thinks that in his crude 19th century primitivist way, the creation is about the making of the world. But the Scriptures has nothing to say, or the New Testament has nothing to say about that. Creation it means all kinds of things, but among those it means that the world is radically gratuitous. It's an act of grace, it's a gift. God didn't have to do it because he doesn't have to do anything. And it may be looking around the place a pity that he ever did. Yes? The devil is a fallen angel. That's very important. They are two sides of the same coin. The class of gratuitous things is very, very small, very tiny. God, of course, who exists purely for his own sake, evil, as I say, art, as it's been redefined since about the 18th century, as something which is gloriously autonomous and independent of its circumstances, and, politically speaking, human beings, men and women, as we might be, under a different political system, which allowed us to, and this is the whole morality of Karl Marx, which allowed us to express our energies purely for their own sake, rather than the sake of profit or labor or staying alive or whatever. That's Marx, that's communist ethics, basically. Yeah. So I want to put evil in among these other rather better things like art and communism and so on.